milestones, and I'm sure you've seen so much happening in that domain. And again, we cannot do this ourselves. We need every single one of you to help, as well as to embrace, as well as to continue that support in this perspective. It's very important to ensure as well the safety and security of those AIs. And this is where it comes to cybersecurity. Not only the data that could be poisoned, it's not only the model that could be basically hijacked, or even the output or the input in that perspective. All of this ecosystem could be impacted if we did not ensure the culture of cybersecurity is embedded across many of those things. And that's what we are doing here with everybody, as a matter of fact. There are 5 main pillars that we are actually focusing on our national cybersecurity strategy, which actually reflects into the AI aspects. One of them is the governance. We need laws, procedures, definitely standards, as well as policies that allows us to govern many of those aspects. Yes, the technology always precedes those laws and procedures and government. By the end of it, we need those standards to ensure the compliances of many of the great things that we do, and the safety and security of the people, as well as the infrastructure around it. The second pillar is to building again, be the capacity building for the human actor who will be using this technology, or even building the technologies itself in order to help us achieve the missions that we are actually focused on. I've seen some of the vendors, partners here focused on healthcare, some of them in transportation, some of them in education or in energy. Many of those mission focus are definitely a sectarian that uses AI more and more every day. And that's the embrace of this technology. And that's what we are actually, as a matter of fact, continuing and doing. The third pillar of that cybersecurity strategy is to protect and defend. We need to ensure those models again are protected. The people are protected. The AI is responsible. The AI is safe and secure in many of those aspects. And this is one of the major missions that we are actually doing in that perspective. The threats, as I will be actually laying out, some of those threats are continuous. And as we, from a good guy's perspective, using AI, there are adversaries who are using AI or misusing AI in that perspective for their, be it financial benefits or any benefits in that perspective. The fourth pillar of that national cybersecurity is the innovation. And this is what UAE is well known about because of everybody here, because of the partners, because of the people, because of the 200 plus nationalities in this country who actually work together in order to ensure that innovative ideas help them to ensure many of those missions in this perspective are really fulfilled based on that great, alhamdulillah, collaboration and engagement. And the fifth and the most important one is the partnership. We cannot do this ourselves. Definitely, as we always do, we need that ecosystem, public-private partnership, academia or industries in this perspective to help and really work together in that aspect. So knowing those 5 pillars of cybersecurity, as well as the national cybersecurity and safe and secure AI, we know that on the other hand, there are some threats. There are state or non-state actors who uses AI. As a matter of fact, almost 5 or so years ago, we've seen many of the attacks happen already as an AI part. However, it was only limited to state actors. However, with this great proliferation of AI and expanding of AI, we see the threats is really becoming more and more. Everybody is using AI. AI as simple as LLM models are used even by, again, adversaries to design or to code or to build a part of ransomware code and use that in order to attack or do many of those aspects. Even in offensive security, we've seen AI is, as a matter of fact, used in order to find a 0-day in some of those systems. And here I'm talking about critical IoT systems, critical information infrastructure systems that focuses on energy or healthcare. And I'm sure you heard of some of those attacks happened across the whole world, where is actually impacting not only the systems itself, but the loss of lives. And this is what we need to avoid always in our safety and security data perspective. So yes, AI is used in conducting some of those attacks, from, again, an APT type of attack to a ransomware to even phishing emails. And I'm sure now nobody wants to write his email or to do any of those aspects, since having a great chatbot or GPT writes this for you in a very nicely grammar perspective. So those attacks are continuous, and as simple as our younger generation who are using those technologies, as a matter of fact, on daily matters, we've seen them, as a matter of fact, impacted because of the use of AI. And here I'm referring to a case of a bullying type of attack happened to a young 12 years old girl who was, as a matter of fact, defaced her picture, deep faked her images as well as videos, and start using it in a bad ways, which impacted her family, impacted the school, and took her into rehabilitations for almost 1 year to come back to school. It is really devastating to see such cases happening here and there, and this is where we definitely need to build that cybersecurity culture. More and more of safe and secure use, more and more of a responsible use of AI. And this is where we come together. There are 3 types of cyber threats. As a matter of fact, we generalize it here in Cybersecurity Council as well as in many of those entities. The first attack is cyber crimes. And I'm sure you've heard of many of those crimes, starting from, again, as simple as fraud or scams or even misinformation or rumors or things that happens in this regard. And these are always happening across many of those technologies. Alhamdulillah, there is a whole law that governs many of those aspects. The second threat is the cyber terrorism. And who follows the social media, he knows what is that social or cyber terrorism. There is the misinformation, there is the disinformation, there is the ideology that actually try to spread into whatever society. There is, again, a whole things and ideas that they need to hijack and really spread many of the values that we are actually not familiar with here in the country and replace it with those bad values. And this is what we are actually, as a matter of fact, working with a great international and national law enforcement, as well as, again, NGOs and many of those aspects to ensure the safety and security of our community. And then there's the cyber warfare. There's a new type of warfare, and for the geopolitical aspects happening across us dictate to us to be prepared of many of those, again, cyber warfare. And that includes even misusing or pivoting from your critical infrastructure, conduct an attack to other nations in that aspects. And this is what we've seen, and this is what we're actually following up and ensuring the safety and security of many of those things. So now aligning those cybersecurity strategies as well as the threats that we see in order to protect everybody from small, medium businesses, to the people here, to the critical infrastructure. The Cybersecurity Council have put so many great joint initiatives, as a matter of fact, and projects that are already existing. We have the INSOC, the National SOC, that where we actually connect so many CSOC of many sectorial aspects as well as entities to the main INSOC to give a visibility, to really work on finding many of those threat intelligence, threat hunting, as well as many of those attacks that could be perpetrated against our infrastructures. We have the Cyber Pulse. It's an initiative, I'm sure you can find it online, that actually focuses on spreading the cyber security culture from as young as KGs all the way to CEOs as well as board members. And we train them, we take them into a great perspective in order to ensure cybersecurity culture is spread across all of this community. Having that spread will make sure that they are all aligned in saving their self, in saving their kids, as well as in saving the data that they deal with in a daily manner. We have Cyber Sniper, for example. That's another initiative where we actually work in enhancing the technical team and making sure that they are equipped and empowered with AI in order to detect proactively any of those attacks that could actually perpetrate against many of those aspects. We have the E71, that's a startup incubator and accelerator that actually help the startups here nationwide in order to build up that startup using AI as well as cybersecurity and working together in order to ensure the economical aspect and the stability of that financial sector is very important to us as well. So my message here is again to you all, after thanking you and really appreciate that you are really joining this great event and really benefiting from those 2 days, is to think of cybersecurity culture, is to spread that cybersecurity culture, is to embrace definitely those technologies and use it in your daily manners with a careful and vigilant ways. And that's what we are actually here to support. We cannot do that ourselves. We need every one of you to definitely work with us in that perspective. I thank you again for being with us here, and I'm honored, and thank you to the organizers who actually invited us here, and we're here always to support. Thank you very much and wish you a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's